Let's get going. Okay, so mages, the final frontier. Let's click on, these are Legion talents. Do you guys want to go over everything, or just PvP talents, or just talent? Like, what do you guys want? Let's just go to Mage. Alright, blah blah blah. They got some shit. Let's look at Frost first. Even though, in my opinion, after looking at everything, I think Arcane is the best. How's the volume on my mic? Is it okay for you guys? Start with PvP. I want to just look at all this stuff first. We'll just go over. Mic's good. Okay, so as a Frost Mage, you have shoot. Okay, whatever. You have Frostbolt. You have Frost Nova. So you have Frost Nova again. We got our Ice Lance. What does this star mean? Oh, specialization. Okay, so every mage has Frost Nova. Every mage has Ice Barrier. That's interesting. Let's look at the class first. I actually am really interested in this. So, as a mage, everyone has Frost Nova. So Fire Arcane has Frost Nova. Everyone has Blink. Everyone has Ice Barrier. Everyone has Polymorph. Anything else that's like notable? Spell Steal. And that's really it. Spec-specific Frost Mages have Frostbolt, they have Ice Lance, they have Summon Water Elemental. Cool. Passive Shatter, same thing. Crits off Nova and stuff. Fingers of Frost. Your successful Frostbolts, same thing as before. Cone of Cold. Cone of Cold, something to note, is a better snare than Frostbolt. Frostbolt only snares by, I think it's actually 30%. I don't think all these tooltips are updated. I don't think all these tooltips are updated because I remember it's saying it was only a 30% snare. You have Brain Freeze, Icy Veins, Blizzard, Frost Armor, and Mastery Icicles. So, one thing I noticed right away looking at all these talents and everything is we don't have Cold Snap anymore. Check my Discord PM. Why? Oh, let's see. This one's better. I mean, C2 is having problems with it. I guess we'll use this instead. Okay, so the first thing I noticed is we don't have Cold Snap anymore. Let me make this window a little bit bigger. Block has 2 charges. Oh, does it? Oh, I didn't even notice that. 2 charges on a 5-minute recharge. Interesting. That's one thing I didn't notice. Okay, so Frost Talents, Ray of Frost. This is basically like, what is it called? What is that unit in StarCraft? That unit in StarCraft, it's a flying Protoss unit, shoots a little dick laser beam, and as it charges, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So the longer you can channel this on someone, the more damage it does. Kind of cool. 60-second cooldown. Lonely Winter. This talent seems very, very appealing to me. You no longer have a water elemental, but it increases. So no water elemental damage, but your Ice Lance, Frozen Orb, Frostbolt deal more damage, and you get freeze. Yeah, it's a Void Ray. That's kind of cool, right? So you don't have to have a pet anymore as a Frost Mage. Thank God. This chat window's kind of glitched out, huh? I don't know why it does that. Then Bone Chilling. Whenever you attempt to chill a target, you chill yourself with the stacking debuff. The higher the debuff, the more damage all your Frost spells deal, but the slower you move. So you can intentionally make it so you're snared the whole game, but you do more damage, which is interesting. Interesting. Shimmer. So these are kind of like the defensive talents. You have Ice Block. Okay, Shimmer, when I first read it, is crazy, okay? When you take damage, there's a 30% chance for the cooldown of Blink to reset. So every 30 seconds, you get 2 blinks. Kind of cool. Cauterize, also kind of cool. It's the same thing as before, but now you move faster. And you can't be snared, or they're suppressed. And then, of course, there's Ice Block. Ice Block just seems like the best thing ever. Like, PvP without Ice Block seems really, really fucking hard unless you're an Arcane Mage that has Evanesce and a Paladin on your team. Like, it just doesn't feel like you're ever going to be able to give up Ice Block. Maybe you will, though. Maybe you will. It's just a talent. I don't know. We'll see. They made Deep Freeze. Specialization per class abilities. Deep Freeze? Did they actually make Deep Freeze? I don't see Deep Freeze. Maybe I'm crazy. Do all mages have Deep Freeze? I don't actually see it. Is it a talent? Alright, anyways. Okay, so defensive talents. These kind of seem cool. I'll just give you sort of an idea of what I want to use. I'll end up using Lonely Winter, unless Ray of Frost. Numbers matter a lot, of course. If Ray of Frost is one shot, probably use that. But most appealing to me is going to be like Lonely Winter and Ice Block. 45 Mirror Image. Ice Flows, so you can cast, run, and then Rune of Power, you plant and cast. Once again, it's going to depend how much damage Mirror Images do. But I think I'd end up getting Ice Flows. You can cast while moving. Castable while another spell's in progress and is unaffected by the global cooldown. So that's kind of cool. 20-second recharge is 3 charge. You have to cast while moving. Polymorphs, Frostbolts, and stuff like that. You're looking at the PvE talents. I know. I'm well aware. I'm going to look through everything. Encounters Flow, Frozen Touch. When activated, you generate 2 fingers of frost charges. That's kind of cool. And then, what's the cooldown on that? 30-second cooldown, you get 2 fingers. And then Bitter Cold increases the damage of Frozen Orb. Frozen Orb now generates 2 charges of Finger Frost instead of 1 when it hits. That's kind of good. Because your Brain Freeze procs Frozen Orb, this might be a really good talent. You'll be consistently getting 2 Fingers of Frost charges. I would assume faster than every 30 seconds. So Bitter Cold not only increases a main part of your rotation, but you'll end up getting more fingers from it, I think. And then Encounters Flow. Encounters Flow is really strong, though. Like, if you're good with Encounters Flow, I think I'd probably end up getting Encounters Flow, to be honest with you. Ice Nova. When I read this, I cried a little bit. So it's the same thing. Whatever. Ring of Frost. One thing that's interesting to note about Ring of Frost is it's channeled. So you can channel Ring of Frost for 10 seconds. So you don't just place it down and it does its thing. Now you channel it on the ground, and while you're channeling it, people get frozen as they run through it. Kind of cool, huh? You can actually be interrupted on it. So if like you're channeling your Ring of Frost on counter spells, you can't do anything. Ice Ward. I don't like any yeah. As sad as it is, I'm probably just gonna get Ice Nova, to be honest. Why is Ice Nova bad? It's just I don't know. Only 1 charge on Ice Nova. Yeah, that's true. I just don't like this kind of instant damage that like freezes and stuff. Does it replace your Frost Nova still or no? Maybe it's good. I don't know. 90 Frost Bomb. It's basically the same thing as it was before. You put Frost Bomb up, and then if you fingers Ice Lance it or Frozen Ice Lance it, it does additional damage. Unstable Magic, whatever. So it makes it so it AoEs. So when you 20% chance to explode on impact, dealing an additional 50% damage to the target. Actually, that's kind of good. 50% bonus damage to the target and all other enemies. This could be good if you're chain casting Frostbolts. Then Arctic Gale is actually really interesting. 1.5 second cast grants X haste and consumes all frozen effects and gain haste forever. So you can like Nova their whole team and then Arctic Gale and get 1,000,000 haste. Or like at the start of the game, for example, you could run in. If you have Pet Nova, if you have a pet, you can Pet Nova, or you can just use Freeze by yourself and then instantly Arctic Gale and get all the haste. So they're all frozen, then they're instantly all unfrozen, but you've gained all this haste offensively. So I think these 2 talents are probably pretty fun. Thermal Void, casting Ice Lance extends your Icy Veins. Gonna be poop unless Icy Veins is undispellable. Glacial Spike, this is like Chaos Bolt for Frost Mages. 3-second cast. 500% damage of your spell power plus the damage stored in your icicles. So you store up 5 icicles and then you get off a Glacial Spike. This requires a lot of casting, but hopefully it does a shit ton of damage. Comet Storm, same thing, 30-second cooldown. What is it now? Is it 45 seconds or 30? I don't know. It seems like it's the same thing. Glacial Spike. Out of all these, Glacial Spike seems the coolest to me. Having like that huge nuke you could get off seems so fun. I guess against teams that make it so you can't cast, it's not going to be the best, but it could be interesting for sure. And then we wanted to look at PvP talents. How do I see that? Is there a PvP talent calculator on this website? No. Okay, so we'll go here. We'll go back. Okay, so it seems like the first row is just, it's the same for everyone. You can either choose between 15% damage, 15% haste, or crit chance increased by 30% on targets that are above 80% health. So this is a good way if it's a good way to swap to someone. For example, someone's at really high HP. You guys both have this and line it up, you'll nuke them down really, really fast, which is kind of cool. 15% haste is fucking crazy. I don't know which one is the best. It's gonna depend. Second row, Netherwind armor, critical strike damage for spells. So reduce damage against casters, reduces the duration of interrupts. That sounds so good. I'm pretty much always gonna choose Burn Determination unless I'm just getting wizarded down, I guess. Oh my god, sounds so fun. 30% reduction on interrupts. Oh baby. Now I was looking at these talents. Imagine, okay, these are crazy. All right, so first of all mages have Ice Barrier baseline. Improved spell steal. You missed the top row. Oh yeah, I kind of already looked at these. Sorry, I skipped this. Removes. So this is basically. Sorry for bumping it. This is the PvP trinket. This is an auto PvP trinket that has a lower cooldown. So if you want to choose like, this just seems like kind of like a noob talent, to be honest. If you're just a noob and you don't care about anything, then you just get that talent and YOLO trinket, whatever. This is going to be obviously the same, still very good. But it seems like Relentless is going to be... A lot of people have been saying, oh my god, 25% of that seems way overtuned. You have to think, though, you actually don't have a PvP trinket anymore. You can never trinket out of anything. You don't have a trinket. So it has to be a value that makes giving up your PvP trinket worth it. So I think it's kind of cool. Okay. So, improved spell steal. Spell steal now has a 15-second cooldown, but steals all spells from the target. This seems fucking crazy. Imagine before you CC... One sec. Improved spell steal. This is what I wanted to talk about. Spell steal now has a 15-second cooldown, but steals all spells from the target. So, imagine you're about to CC a druid. The second you CC him, you press improved spell steal, and the target you're killing now has 0 healing. Boom. Done. Improved spell steal seems unbelievably good as an offensive tool, but you are going to be giving up your Ice Barrier, which increases the absorption by 30% against physical targets. So against cleaves, this might be a good talent. Temporal Shield, also a very good talent. So you're actually going to have Temporal Shield as well as Ice Barrier, which is really, really interesting. A lot of defensive cooldowns you can rotate through. I think it's such a having Ice Barrier and Temporal Shield is so much more interesting than just having nothing and playing Flame Glow. But improved spell steal seems unfucking real how good it is. Okay, now let's look at these talents. We're just going to look at the Frost ones really fast. Chilled to the Bone. Your Frost Nova and your Water Elementals freeze deal 45,000 frost damage when the effect ends. So at the end of the Nova, it explodes. Damage is doubled if Frost Nova or Freeze are dispelled. You know what that means, guys? We have Dispel protection for our Novas. So when we Nova someone and they dispel it, they're going to get one shot. That's kind of cool, right? So if you pet Nova a healer and he decides he wants to dispel to get out of line of sight, if you're training a healer, he's going to get one shot, which is interesting. If you're fighting a melee team and you Nova them and the healer dispels them, they're going to get one shot, which is cool. I love that. A Frostbite. Oh! Give your chill effects a 15% chance to freeze the target for whatever. It's a 0, but I'm sure it's going to be more than 0. Or yeah, 45,000 sounds low. Does it? I don't know. I don't know how much health we have. Neither do you. So there's no way you can say it sounds low. What do you mean it sounds low? What if you have 100,000 health? Then it's very high. So this is just the old school Frostbite. Your chills can randomly freeze the targets. Deep Shatter. Your Frost will deal 200% additional damage to frozen targets. Replaces Fingers of Frost. So this is if you can Swifty, this is going to be crazy. 200. If Frostbolt hits hard, this talent's going to be insane. Just means you're going to be able to get the craziest Frostbolts off ever. I don't know why my chat's all glitched out. Starting to piss me off. Okay, so that row, very interesting. I like that a lot of these rows are tough choices. It seems like with talents and PvP talents, you have to give up something good. No matter what, you're always going to be giving up something good, which is interesting. Frost Concentrated Coolness. Frozen Orb is cast at a location and no longer moves. Damage is increased by 20%. I think that's really cool. So if you're playing RMP, for example, and your rogue kidney shot someone, you can just summon a Frozen Orb on top of them. It does 20% more damage. You can't Zaryu Orb anymore. So this is going to be a good talent for Zaryu. Improved Water Jet. Water Jet now lasts 8 seconds longer and slows target. Probably never going to get that. Ice form. Your body turns into ice, increasing your frostbolt damage by 50% and granting immunity to stun and knockback effects. That's kind of cool. 45-second cooldown. It doesn't say how long it lasts. Instant 45-second cooldown, but it doesn't say how long it lasts. Is it permanent? Do you permanently do 50%? Like, are you permanently immune to stuns and knockbacks? Like, what is this? The fuck is this shit? If it actually lasts forever, then this is the best talent ever. You can't be knocked, you can't be stunned, and your frostbolt does 50% more damage. Seems crazy. I don't know. All right. Hey, Zikor, what's up, man? All right. So, interesting. Frost seems very, very cool. No pun intended. Let's look at fire. Reset. Okay, so fire. It says 45-second cooldown, so I'm sure it isn't passive. Maybe it's dispellable or something. I don't know. It doesn't say it has a duration. I don't know what that means. So let's go over Arcane first, actually. Arcane seemed really, really cool when I was looking at it. So as Arcane, you have Arcane Barrage, Arcane Blast, Arcane Charges again, Arcane Missiles. You have Slow, which is cool. You have Evocation, again, Arcane Power, a Mage Armor, which reduces CC on you even more. So imagine this, man. Imagine being Arcane with Mage Armor and having that passive 25% reduction. It's going to be interesting to see if they're additive or multiplicative for the CC reduction, but you can theoretically make all CC half on you as an Arcane Mage. So like Fear and Polymorph will be half. Okay, then let's look at some talents. Arcane Familiar, summon a familiar that attacks. So you summon a little pet or something that attacks. Don't care about that. This one's cool. Once activated, the next 4 Arcane Blasts you cast will be instant. So every minute you get 4 instant Arcane Blasts. 4 instant Arcane Blast. That one seems cool. Torrent. When Arcane Barrage hits additional targets, the damage dealt to those additional targets is increased by 100%. So, out of these talents, one of the things I noticed about Arcane is it seems like you have the ability to be like an AoE damage spec. So, like, for example, we'll pick Torrent. So now your Arcane Barrage does 100% additional damage to the off targets. All right, cool. Shimmer, Cauterize Ice Block, same thing. Buck Shimmer. Mirror Image, Rune of Power, Ice Flows. I don't know which one's going to be best. It's going to be weird, though, if you have Arcane Familiar and Mirror Image. You can have so many little, like, pets out. Probably go Ice Flows. These are different. Encounters Flow. Of course, charged up when activated, generate 4 Arcane Charges, so you just get 4 Arcane Charges. Channeling Evocate now generates 1 Arcane Charge every 5 seconds, or 1.5. So when you channel your Evocate, you get Arcane Charges. Probably still going to go with Encounter Flow, to be honest with you. Supernova. So Supernova, knock people up, same thing. 1 charge. Ring of Frost, Ice Ward. Probably get Supernova. Maybe Ice Ward, depending on if you need a kite or whatever. But you have Frost Nova again, which is kind of nice. Even if you get Supernova, you have Frost Nova as an Arcane Mage. And then look at this, Cascade. This Cascade seems like it synergizes with Torrent really well. So Torrent, when Arcane Barrage hits additional targets, the damage dealt to those additional targets is increased by 100%. That's a lot. Cascade launches an Arcane Orb. Oh, sorry, that's not it. Cascade. Enemies hit by Arcane Barrage have a chance to throw a barrage at the enemy target. What is this? I just saw Arcane Orb somewhere. Oh, it's down there. Ugh, I'm dumb. Enemies hit by Arcane Barrage have a chance to throw a barrage at a nearby enemy. So you Arcane Barrage someone. It's like when you use your 4-stack Arcane Barrage, it's already going to split, and then it's going to do additional damage and then split again with Cascade, which is kind of cool. Overpower, Quickening, Arcane Blast, and Arcane Missiles also grant 2% haste for 6 seconds. So if you're free casting, you just get insane haste, which is interesting. So like you can static at the beginning if you want, cast 4 instant Arcane Blasts, and then you'll have 8% additional haste. Arcane Orb, same thing, grants you Arcane Charge based on... This is good too for building Arcane Charges, but Quickening seems the best to get a lot of haste. So Arcane Talent's pretty interesting. And then if we go back, let's just look at Arcane specific now. Arcane Concentrated Power. Arcane Power lasts 5 fewer seconds and the damage bonus increase. So if you want to Swifty harder, faster, Concentrated Power is pretty good. Torment the Weak. Increases the critical strike chance by 30% on targets afflicted by your slow. That's really good. 30% bonus crit on someone that's snared. That's really, really good. Presence of Mind. Your next mage spell will be instant cast. Does not apply to portal or teleport. Boom. 1 minute. Free polymorph. Still super good. Like, that's still a really good option. Arcane. Temporal Anomaly. Your Arcane Blast reduces the cooldown of your blink spell. So, just to explain how awesome that is. This is the one thing that like gave me a straight up boner about Mage or Arcane Mage. Blink has a 15-second cooldown. Blink has a 15-second cooldown. With this, if you cast 3 Arcane Blasts, your blink is reset. You get a free blink. You get another blink. It's off cooldown. Isn't that crazy? That just seems crazy. You blink cast a blast, now it's 10 seconds. You blink cast 2 blasts, it's 5 seconds. Like, oh my god, you're just gonna be fucking blinking all over the place. It's like a Sork in D2. I love it. But let's see what you have to give up if you want the blinking all over the place. A mirror entity. Anytime you blink, you conjure a mirror image of yourself, dealing 30% of your damage. Look at that. So as an Arcane Mage, listen to how crazy this is. As an Arcane Mage, you can make it so every time you blink, you summon an image. That might synergize well with having mirror image and Arcane Familiar. So you can already summon Arcane Familiar. Look at this. This is cool too. So you can Arcane Familiar, summon a little image, use mirror images. Then when you blink, you summon another image. If you proc again, you can blink a second time and do another image. Like, you can just have a million little images. That's one of the things I think is really cool about Legion. Is like, it seems to me that you have options to play like different playstyles, which is kind of cool. Mass invisibility. You and your allies within 40 yards instantly become invisible for 5 seconds. So you can AoE invis your whole team, which is kind of cool. So Arcane seems fucking cool to me. So that's Arcane. And then we will go over Fire. Fire. You have Fireball, you have Pyroblast. You have Hot Streak again, which makes it so your Pyroblast or Flame Striker instant. Inferno Blast, Dragon's Breath, Scorch. Okay, so let's look at these talents really fast. Casting Pyroblast while Hot Streak is active has a 50% chance to instantly reactivate Hot Streak. So what that means is when you have Hot Streak and you instant Pyro, half of the time you can proc another Pyro. This is the most fucking RNG talent I've ever seen in my life. So you can literally Pyro, like if you get lucky enough, if you do like some basic math, first chance is 1/2, and then 1/4, and then 1/8, and 1/16. Like 1 in 16 times, you can actually cast like 4 instant pyros or 5 instant pyros on a row. Cool. Conflagration. Enemies affected by Ignite have a chance to flare up for 3 seconds. While flared up, nearby enemies take 1 fire damage each second. So you can light people on fire, and then they burn their team. Cool. Fireball has an X chance to chain to a nearby ignited target. Oh my god! So you can just AoE Fireball people? World of Gamba! Craft. World of Gamba! I'm scared to open my Skype. I want to open my Skype, but I think it's gonna like pop up and... How do I open my Skype without getting fucked? Alright, let's do this. Alright, cool. Nothing important. No! It's hiding now! Please. Alright, one sec. Fire seems really awesome too. Like, honestly, Frost seems the least cool. After reading all of these, I'm like least excited about Frost, to be honest with you. Oh, Gambo! Shimmer, Cauterize Ice Block, same shit. This one seems fun. I want to chain Pyros. Get Ice Block, same shit. Get Ice Flows. Flame On, when activated, grants 2 charges of Infernal Blast. Ooh! When you gain heating up, there's a chance to instantly go into Hot Streak. This chance to increase by... When you gain heating up, there's a chance to instantly go into Hot Streak. What? So if you crit once, you have a chance to just instantly get your free Pyro? Oh my god, that's so good. What? Blast Wave, same shit. Living Bomb can be spread with Infernal Blast. That's good for AoE. 30% chance to explode on impact, dealing. Okay. Flame Strike ignites the ground that is cast on, leaving a patch of fire behind that continues to burn enemies. That could be really good. Flame Patch. So if people like hiding behind a box, you can Flame Patch it. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Your Fireball, Frost Firebolt, Pyroblast, and Infernal Blast critical strikes reduce the cooldown remaining on combustion. What's the cooldown on combustion? 2 minutes? It's alright. Throw a spread of 6 cinders. All this stuff just depends on how much damage it does, really. So these are the kind of similar talents. Let's look at Fire Talents. Fire Tinder. If you don't cast Fireball for 8 seconds, your next Fireball will deal 30% increased damage with the 15%. Oh my god! So you can just save up your Fireballs so they swift you really hard. That's kind of cool. Don't worry, guys. I'll be doing Monk soon. After I'm done with Mage. So every 8 seconds, you can cast a huge Fireball. The reduced cast time, it does more damage. Or you can reduce the cast time of your Flame Strike. So World in Flames makes it so Flame Strike has no cast time, I think. Where's Flame Strike? Flame Strike has a 4-second... Oh, it has a 4-second cast? Okay. Whoa, that's a long cast. Holy shit. Your excitement, I want to crush it. Check affliction lock changes. I will, don't worry. Why do you want to crush it? Reduce the cast time of Flame... So it's not going to be instant. It's just going to reduce the cast time. It's going to be good. Flare up. Infernal Blast. Charges increased by 1. Using Infernal Blast on a target not afflicted by your ignite will refund a charge. Cool. That's really good. Your Fireball, reduce the cooldown of your combustion by 20 seconds. Oh my god, that's so good too. Flame Cannon. After standing still in combat for 2 seconds, your maximum health is increased by 5%, damage done increases by 5%, and spell range increases by 5 yards. This stacks up to 3 times and lasts for 5 seconds. What? So if you stand still for 6 seconds, you gain 15% increased range, 15% increased damage, and 15% increased health. That's kind of interesting. Flame Cannon. Greater Pyroblast. Look at this. Greater Pyroblast hurls an immense fiery boulder that causes 600% of spell power. Look at how fucking crazy that is. 4-second cast, so it has a long 4-second cast. This is Chaos Bolt for fire mages. I love that though. Like when, oh my god, I love that, man. I love that so much. Well, fire mages seem really cool. Arcane mages seem really cool. Frost mages seem really cool. I'm going to have to play beta to see which one I like the most, to be honest with you, because I actually have no idea. I have no idea. Because I don't even know, man. It just seems so cool. Alright, so we want to look at monks now? You guys want to look at monks? Yeah, me too, Jared. Me too. Didn't they try that at the start of Kata? I like that though, man. I like that there's nukes in the... Like, I think it's really fucking cool when classes can sit there and cast for a long time and that ability does a lot of damage. That's exciting to me. Like, if I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to get this power... It's such a fun feeling. Like, oh my god, I'm channeling Pyroblast, I'm channeling Pyroblast. You see this huge boulder and it just goes in and fucking like one-shot someone. That's so cool. I love that. 500%. That's such a crazy number.